This would ruin the Warriors. NBC Sports, home of Golden State Warriors, put out an article saying the 5 biggest offseason needs. And one of them will blow your mind. Just blow your mind. I can't believe they put it out there. Randy Silver here in Warriors Digest. We're going to break it all down for you on this episode. Please subscribe. We're getting plenty of viewers, 25,000 viewers on one video. But look at the subscriptions. Please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the daily videos that go out. We're going to break stuff down like this. The first issue, the Klay Thompson situation, which we all know about. Not a surprise. I actually just put out a video yesterday about that. I'll link it below. Is Klay coming off the bench next season? He's a free agent. Does he want to come off the bench? Does he want to start? Does he want to stay in Golden State? Go to potentially Orlando, Mavericks, Lakers, back to SoCal where he grew up. Also grew up in Oregon a little bit. Many different options for him. So what's going to happen with Klay Thompson? Right now, y'all know this really well if you're on this video channel a lot. Thank you for being with us. $30 million non-guaranteed contract to Chris Paul. Klay Thompson free agency. The two biggest things the Warriors need to decide in terms of money. And that's actually going to be a point we talk about in a moment. If they bring back Chris, they're over the second apron. Joe Lacob will be unhappy with that. Kind of talked about it. So does that mean Klay's gone? Do they bring them both back? Do they bring none of them back? Does Klay want to come back? He was offered 2 years, $24 million per year, $48 million total, beginning of the season. Said, nah, not signing that. Contract conversations ended. He went the whole season playing on the last year of his contract. Bet himself. Did it work out? Comment your thoughts. A lot of people are saying no in the comments. Kind of agree. Season was like this and ended all the way down with the goose egg, the donut, the bagel against the Sacramento Kings in the play-in. So the question is, what happens with Klay Thompson? Do they re-sign him? Do they not sign him? I personally think you re-sign Klay to a team-friendly deal. Warriors legend. You want him to retire with one team. Comes off the bench. Plays defense. 3-point. His free throws were the best ever in terms of percentage at 92%. He still got the fire, the tank. He's just not an everyday, every game starter anymore. Pick and pocket. Kind of like Ray Allen when he went to the Heat. Didn't have to do a lot with LeBron James. D Wade there. Bosh a bit before he was hurt. But anyways, he could do what he needed to do and fill his role. Obviously, the Warriors are not set up like the Heat. They don't have multiple superstars. You would need that to help out. But take the pressure off of Klay, let him do his thing, and bring somebody else in. Younger, longer, more athletic. You got to get younger. You got to get more athletic, and you got to get taller. Steve Kerr said that. All y'all in the comments say that. It's obvious. When we look at our team, your top scorer, Stephen Curry, mid-upper 30s. Second top scorer, Klay Thompson, mid-upper 30s. Kuminga, young, 21-ish. Wiggins, 29. Brandon, rookie last year, like 19. I don't even think he's 20 yet. Chris Paul, upper mid-30s. Draymond, upper mid-30s. That's an old team. Very top-heavy in age. So you got to get younger, more athletic. You either have to get rid of, I'm not going to say Kuminga, but that's coming up next. Potentially Wiggins on his contract. Potentially Draymond. I know a lot of y'all talk about you don't want Draymond anymore because of what he does off the court and his shenanigans on the court, and what he's providing isn't worth the ROI anymore. Do you trade potentially a Kuminga? We'll talk about in a second. A Moody to try to get back a ready now star if you don't think Moody and Kuminga are ready. Do you potentially TJD? Trace Jackson Davis showed he was really good this season. Potentially trade him. I don't think you do. Other than that, GP2 is a free agent. Looney, maybe, but he's so good for us. I think you need to keep him. Not a lot there. Again, when you go back to the free agents, Klay, GP2, one of our best defenders, was just hurt so much. Dario, and then you have Kuminga, Moody, maybe. So there's not a lot of assets there for the Warriors to deal with. The Warriors play small ball the best. They brought it into the league. Obviously, the league has caught up. But when they had Bogut, Pachulia, McGee at their center, Looney, they were doing really well. But now that the league is caught up and they're still in the same mindset with Looney, or he's not in there, Draymond's your big man at 6'6", we can't hang. Who's in the West right now? Timberwolves. Gobert, 7 foot. Cat, basically 7 foot. Suns. Nourish. And obviously Draymond with the elbow there, going up against the big man. You're not going to be able to beat those. I know the Suns may get popped out right here. OKC, Chet is 6'11". New Orleans, 7 foot guy. So we need better size. And how do you get better size? Do you trade Kuminga or Wiggins? Kuminga is eligible to re-sign with the Warriors right now. He still has another year on his contract before he's a restricted free agent, but we can go ahead and sign him to a long-term deal. He said in his exit interview he wants to stay with the Warriors, and everything is saying stay, stay, stay. We did a report, $30 million, one NBA insider is saying reportedly he could get on the open market. That's a lot of money for a 21-year-old. Potential's there. I mean, look at his stats. This year was his best year ever. Obviously, he got to start more, which helps when you get more playing time. 16 points a game versus around 9 to 10. All his stats in terms of rebounds, assists, percentages were all up as well. Besides, three-point percentage went down, and that's the big issue. He needs to shoot more threes. And better, when you play with Steph, you got to be able to space the floor. He loves to slash, get those dunks, layups. But if he can shoot the three, going back to Giannis, he's still not a good three-point shooter. But when you can make them think you're a threat, they're not going to sag as much, so it's easier on the dive. Or, bang, three-point shot, you make it. Wiggins had a down year, obviously. Comments talk about that too. He's only 29. Only 29. He's in his athletic prime. So is there more in the tank? Obviously, with the Jordan Poole, and a lot of people talk about this in the comments as well, was one of his best friends on the team, and he had to be shook from what happened with the punch with Draymond. He's off the team a year later. Also, not talked about a lot, he's had some personal things going on in his life. Before the Warriors made the playoffs 2 years ago, he missed the second half of the season. He missed some time this season with personal stuff going on. They never really say what happened. It's just personal things in his life. So you don't know how that's affecting you on the court. So if that can be okay, and obviously we wish the best for Wiggins and his family, friends, whatever's going on, he could just inherently get better with the distraction, stress, whatever you want to call it, off the court, not affecting him on the court. On the court, is Joe Lacob willing to spend money? He said again and again he'd like to get under the second apron because he pays so much money in the luxury tax. Right now they're at 174, not re-signing Klay, not re-signing Chris Paul to his non-guaranteed contracts. If they do that, boom, up the second apron. Does he want to do that? Does he want to try to trade salary for salary? Does he want to go out in free agency and make a splash? It's up to him. And he told Mike Dunleavy, there's no definite what you need to do. However, do what's best for the Warriors. If the Warriors aren't going to make the playoffs and they don't make the moves that get them from the play-in up, does he want to sign those types of players that will do that? If he doesn't think it's going to be incremental enough to make that jump. But again, Draymond missed 16 games this season due to suspension from one suspension. Was suspended another 5 games. He missed basically 20 games of the season. That's almost a fifth of the season, more than a fifth of the season due to suspension. They stayed even in those games, but if he played, they were above 500 when he played. Maybe they're not in the play-in, and right now they're still in the playoffs. That could give you hope that, hey, maybe one, we got to trade Draymond. But 2, it gives you hope that there's a team there, add some bells and whistles around, and you can make it work. Which takes you to point 5, help wanted. What can the Warriors do to get help for this team? I mean, look at this. Steph's salary is $50 million. Draymond, $22 million. Wiggins, $24 million. Klay, $43 million, but that's going. Chris, $30 million, but that's going. There's not a lot you can do here when you have that much salary committed to top-end players. It's like the NFL. When the QB is making too much money, you can't build a roster around. The teams that are the best are when the teams are still relatively young and up and coming because you have team-friendly deals. Look at OKC. None of those players are making a crazy amount of money because they're all drafted on team-friendly deals. Give it 5 years, and they're all going to be bloated and have some issues. Denver, right now, team-friendly deals. Give it another couple years, and when they're all coming up for contract, Murray, Nikola, Gordon, they're going to be in the same situation. Miami hit that situation, and everyone was taking basically $1 million deals as a veteran minimum when they had D-Wade, Bosh, and LeBron because they knew they were so good they could have a chance to get the coattails to ride to the championship. Early years of the Warriors, that happened again. But now they're not there, and they have too much money going on. What are they going to do? So how are you going to be able to build around this team? So what do you think the Warriors need to do? That's the question. Do you agree with all these points? 1, Thompson situation. 2, younger, longer, more athletic. 3, Kuminga and Wiggins. 4, Joe Lacob's wallet. And 5, help wanted. Let me know. I know y'all do a great job commenting. I appreciate it. And then we're going to break it all down for you in a future episode in your comments. See you on the next one.